So, we're doing a vlog, and I decided to do a little touch-up on the alien topic, okay? Here's my thought on aliens and alien beings. The president gets this documented file that has a long list of species of aliens that have visited our planet in the last 50 years or so, or even earlier, okay? Now, how come this stuff is not being told to us? How come we're not being told that there's aliens that are visiting the planet? And what really intrigues me the most is that if you look at some of the hieroglyphics that were drawn in ancient times, there's weird stuff. Like, I saw a hieroglyphic on this documentary I've been watching called Conspiracy File. Well, it's like the same one that did, it's called Unsealed Alien Files. Okay, and what it did is it showed hieroglyphics, and it had like these symbols that they made back in the 1500s, or not even, no, way before that, like maybe BC, probably around BC, of in Egypt. And they actually look like, there's hieroglyphics that look like modern day helicopters, but they drew them back then. And there's modern day helicopters, things that look like drones and stuff. So how is it that they knew about that stuff existing back then, before Christ, and we don't know how they got there? I mean, there was none of that shit back there, and obviously they just didn't make it up. So what's that tell me? The moral of the story is aliens were there back then. Aliens had to help show them technology and ways to better the future. That's just my take on aliens. What about you? Your take on aliens?
Aliens, yeah. I believe in them.
Or extraterrestrials.
Yeah, extraterrestrial beings.
Not illegal Mexicans.
Some people say that the Bible says there's no aliens, and if there happens to be proof that there's life out in other planets, or like for there to be H2O or anything on other planets, they say, oh, well, then the Bible's false. And I say that not every single thing, like they never said that there was going to be Pizza Hut in the Bible, no. So, I mean, maybe every single living organism was created by one creator, and that extraterrestrials, I mean, you see the Milky Way, and you see how big it is, and the little portion that we are, that we can see, all the stars that we are in is in one little spot. I'll probably add the picture later, but there's so many galaxies and universes that we don't even know about. How selfish are we to say that we're the most dominant species in the ever to exist, human beings, when there's so much more out there than just Earth? It's just crazy. Just because we can only survive with water and oxygen doesn't mean that other organisms can't survive without it. So,
what about element 115 on the periodic table? That was not discovered until not too long ago. I mean, it may have been a couple of decades ago, but still, element 115 is like some unknown iron element that we never even heard of. We never even know what the heck it even was. Yeah. But it got here somehow. How? Scientists think, well, maybe it fell from a meteorite, Maybe it fell from a meteorite, struck Earth. That unknown element was there, but that unknown element came from somewhere else to get to here. So, before I get lost and sidetracked off of the aliens and get into, like, other stuff, what I'm trying to say is, we know that we, as me and Tim, we know aliens exist because it's kind of obvious. We can't be the only species of humanoids to exist. Obama gets a letter, this big huge file that says all the species of aliens, and I heard someone say, quote unquote, there's 150 species of aliens that visit our planet Earth. Okay, that's a lot. That's a lot of planets to be coming from here. How come, if they're coming here, and we're not performing, like, reverse engineering, we should be learning their components on their spaceships so we can get to where they're at. Further, our space exploration. We're sitting in like darkness here. We don't know what's even beyond Pluto.
Yeah, I mean, you know, NASA don't even really get funded anymore. It's not all on Obama's priority list, it seems like, and yet they want all these satellites to watch us and stuff. It's just crazy. I mean, some people are scared. You know, what's scarier? That we are alone in this universe, or that we're not? I mean, it's so vast, it's so big that people can't comprehend it, but there's organisms just like us somewhere else. We're not as special as we thought we were.
Okay, what about also all the like the raw footage that NASA didn't want us to see about all the, you know, I'm losing a lot of words. I mean, it's okay.
Like Roswell and
no, this goes even deeper than Roswell and everything. Okay, here we go. Think back to the 1990s, okay, when we had the first satellites in orbit. Now, we were watching all these clusters and stuff flying by. We were watching, you know, shooting stars going by, and this little satellite was taking video. 1990, maybe 1991. But people were pointing out in the videos that you got these little things that are flying, zipping all around. We didn't have that technology, you know, at that time to do all that stuff, you know, to get all that kind of stuff. We were watching UFOs, what they were saying. That's an unidentified object flying around right there. There's numerous amounts of them, but NASA was like, it's not a UFO. It's a cluster or a shooting star. A shooting star is not going to fly around, make, like, you know, zip lines and stuff, and all crazy and stuff. All the footage that they had caught of UFOs that they all had kept hidden from us, and even the encounters by Neil Armstrong himself. We landed on the moon, but we're not alone. There's something else up here watching us. You know, what about that? Do you think he'd lie about that? No, I don't.
Then you have to worry about like drones and stuff these days. You think you're seeing something, and it's moving like an airplane, then it stops, and then it moves in a different direction. So yeah, you're like, oh, that could be a UFO, but it is just a drone. That's a whole nother story. But yeah, there's a bunch of stuff. I mean, UFO is technically just unidentified flying object, so we don't know what's going on. But you know, just to say that you already know everything about the world, then that would just mess up science altogether. The whole point of science is to try to figure out more about stuff instead of just saying, "Wow, here it is. We already know. We know how everything is." You know, you gotta keep studying and keep making new discoveries. And that's what we do. Like aliens, people get abducted and they get probed, and I mean, it's just a big mess. You know, there's people going missing all the time. Here in the tri-state area, we've had a lot of women gone missing. Some of them could have been abducted. I guess we will have to find out.
Possibility. And I'm seeing a lot of army trucks as of late, dude. What is up with that?
Yeah, I mean, this area over here where we're at, it's just real windy, but there's a lot of activity. Extraterrestrials.
Weather control program going on.
Yeah, Midwestern weather is very unpredictable. So
We are the whistleblowers.
yeah.
Alright, so you want to stop this one?
Well, okay, so